evening, everyone. I hope you are all having a fantastic Monday. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want to just watch Father Fog go ham on Dead by Daylight. So if you're in the mood for that, I wouldn't blame you, because that's like, the guy is incredible at that game. He really is. Fantastic to watch. What am I looking for right now? My controller, which is in my lap. So that's about where my head's at today. Hope all y'all are doing a little bit better. Anyways, enough of me rambling. We are going to go ahead and get started doing this. There's a couple things that we need to do to catch up on some quests that we were working on, and I wrote them down because this isn't a blind run. I'm allowed to look at guides and figure things out as we go. I'm looking at guides in the sense of I need to figure out what I'm supposed to do, like where I'm supposed to go for places, so I'm not wasting the time running around all over the place. But I'm not looking at guides to tell me what to do, if that makes sense. I feel like there's a slight difference. We're going to go to a ford across the Skunk River, which is actually right next to us. Sweet, cool. I'm going to try to get Jubilost on our team, however you pronounce it. Y'all know me and my mispronunciation of names. It's rough out here. Skip right on over. All right, Cody is still here.
Hey, it's you again.
Jubilost greets you in his usual semi-friendly manner. Hey, yeah, I found the dwarven outpost you told me about. The trolls have found it, even before me.
Unbelievable. Amazing. Its location must be mapped at once. I definitely need to see the place with my own eyes. Lead the way. Oh, as for the cart, well, never mind, it'll be okay. I'll send someone for it later.
Jubilost shouts in excitement, totally ignoring your mention of the trolls. Boom. All right, now he's on our team. I'm not going to put him in the party just yet. We're going to have to completely redo our party when we go to the troll lair, and I need to make sure everyone is up to snuff. This is where we need to deliver those feather tokens, so let's try and get that out of the way. Well, you have my feather tokens yet? There. Will you free the hostages now? Ah, that's more like it. Go on, hostages. I won't hold you back anymore. I used to think all you people were dumb and nasty, but you don't seem so bad. Let's be friends. Alright, we can be friends. Chuckling, the Fae pushes you away. Ew, what are you doing? Stop that. Come on, here, just take this and hold off on that cuddly stuff, alright? I mean, fair. Well, I have to go. Make sure you don't get lost. You people never seem to know where to put your feet. Okay, another task done. A little bit of experience, and I got a ring. Ring of protection +2. Let's see what this guy has to say first. Well, thank you kindly. I was already thinking there was going to be blood. I believe I was promised compensation for my efforts. There we go. I never go back on my word. Take this. Thank you for helping us. Couple extra gold pieces, nothing crazy. The experience was the more important thing. And now I gotta go back to the crumbled tower, which is way over there. The ruined watchtower. I figured out where the red cog is. So we're gonna go ahead and grab that. Gotta figure out how to get there, but it's just like, it's this area that we missed. So how do we... Let's just do that and see what happens. Ah, look at that. Once long ago, a sturdy watchtower rose above the forest, ready to signal an enemy's approach day or night. Now the ancient moss-covered stones were crumbling, and birds rather than warriors inhabited the place. The ground floor had long been looted, but there still seemed to be some furniture left on what remained of the upper floor. A rotted table, an uneven chair, and a small but seemingly robust chest. Sadly, the stairs leading up had collapsed long ago. Ekun inspected the upper floor. Possible to climb, but risky. Stones might collapse. We could use a rope to pull it down. I trust him to hitch the chest. Having tied a rope to his arrow, Ekun drew his bow and took aim. With an abrupt thud, the arrow pierced the wood. The chest seemed to be heavy, but the arrow held fast as Ekun pulled the chest toward the edge. Watch yourselves, Ekun shouted, giving one more yank before the chest fell. The chest fell to the stone floor with a loud thud, a huge cloud of dust rising around it. The wood had darkened after years of exposure to the sun and the rain. The metal siding had grown a layer of rust, and the decorative carvings on the lid were barely discernible. Even so, The chest itself was as robust and secure as the day it was made by some unknown dwarven master. And of course, it was still locked. Well, first thing we should do is try to search for the key. The search turned out to be a surprising success. We found the key in a small niche that had been covered with rubble. Despite its age, the dwarven lock was still operational. We turned the key, and the chest's lid opened with a shrill creak. Inside, we found the simple possessions of a dwarven warrior, who must have once been stationed in this tower. Battle gear consisting of chainmail, a helmet, a shield, and an axe. A pair of torn traveling boots and a metal tankard the size of a small bucket. A pipe and a full pouch of tobacco, which had petrified over the years. And lastly, a peculiar little thing, a complex red metal cog. That's what we were looking for. Sweet. Hey, how you doing today, Mild Kabuki? Great name. Welcome in. Alright, so we got a great axe. That looks magic. It's been a good day. Thanks for asking. Not a bad day at all. Just catching up on some backlogged quests, I guess you could say. Trying to remember to drink my tea tonight. Have you played this before? One of your favorite games? Awesome. Yeah, I do. I am enjoying myself very much. I mean, we do a lot of, like, TTRPG type games, CRPGs on this channel. But this one is just it's very well done. A little glitchy with the menus sometimes, but aside from that, I'm enjoying it. Ooh, that's an upgrade too. Heck yes. Corrosive. Acid damage. Ooh. Yes, that's going to be great for that troll. Ooh, it's cool looking too. Love how that glows. Your party is exactly the same as the one I ran, but my first character was a magus. Interesting. I am doing in effect's Sylvan Sorcerer build for my main character. And eventually I think I'll be switching out Amiri for nok-nok. But that's a big maybe, because I really like Amiri. Unlike the time-worn watchtower, the statue of Torag is in perfect condition. The dwarven god's face has a stern look, almost accusatory when combined with the surrounding devastation. Ekun bows his head and whispers a short prayer before the statue. Let's go ahead and put those 3 cogs in. You have all 3 cogs, but you're not sure how to fit them into the mechanism. Maybe the arcane markings inside are a clue. I bet Haram would know how to do this if I fail, but let's give it a shot. Nice. I've been on a good luck streak with these. The markings seem vaguely familiar. Raking through your memory, you realize these are well-known alchemical symbols, though in an ancient dwarven script. The symbol for tin seems to be designed for the white cog, representing tinsmiths. Iron must mean the red cog for blacksmiths, while gold is the gold cog and goldsmiths. Having placed all the cogs properly, you see they can now rotate. You rotate the cogs and hear a rumbling noise from the statue, followed by a loud click. The panel opens, revealing the treasure stored within. Onion soup. I love how there's just like a recipe hidden in this dwarven statue. Good amount of money. Full plate and a belt. Ooh, holy hell. +2 enhancement bonus to strength, dexterity, and constitution. That's amazing. That is actually incredible for him. Because of the bow that he's using. It'll increase his damage as well. Give him a little bit of survivability. That means she can use the dex bow. What was the other thing? A full plate? Yeah, alright. Hey, Pipin, how you doing today? What did the waves say to the shore? Long tide, no sea. Oh gosh. Get out. Alright, I think now I definitely want to go back to the kingdom real quick and check up on everything that I just got. Check my notes real quick. I think that was the last thing I needed to do. Yes, so back to the kingdom. Oh, now here is something truly impressive. These items once belonged to a dwarven smith, and they wish to tell us their story. The storyteller shakes his head sadly. But too much has been lost, too much forgotten. The story of this smith eludes me. Please, find the rest of the 5 missing items, and return them to me as soon as you can. Alright, let's see if he has... If I have the rest of those. I don't think I do. Copy this recipe. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not all of those. I think he said there's 6 of these. I could be wrong. I only have 2 of these. I know there's 5 of those. Oh, I do have 6 of these. Alright, let me go see if that'll work. don't think so. I found the shards of an ancient artifact. Can you restore it for me? This scorched piece of metal is part of a curious artifact known as the Necklace of Double Crosses. Inside it, I sense a story of many deeds. Not heroic, but low and maleficent. If you find all 7 of its fragments, I will be able to restore the artifact and recount its inglorious story. Okay. Finally. Yes, the treasurer's duty is to keep the coffers of the barony full and ensure any gold spent is spent wisely. Jubilost aims to cut expenses and spend diligently, and he's sure to let everyone know it, too. That's fine. You do whatever you need to do, my guy. Yes, that'll give me 500 BP. Yes, finally. Oh my gosh. I have needed that so desperately. But Dark, get out of here. Everyone, that's our moderator making a bunch of noise. How you doing today, Dark? First AP that I actually... Oh, thank you so much for the follow, Mild Kabuki. I appreciate that. Welcome to the absolute chaos that is this channel. First AP that I finished as a player. The first... So I've never actually finished a campaign as a player. Lifelong DM here. So I've done Scales of War in its entirety, and I've done Zeitgeist in its entirety. Zeitgeist was excellent. Highly recommend that. And I'm playing through... Oh my gosh. War of the Burning Sky right now. And that one's been very fun so far. Not as railroady as I expected it to be. Like, I expected it to be from point A to point B every single time, and it's opening up pretty well. Jubilost raises his head and closes his notebook. Ah, it's you. How can I help you? All right, tell me about yourself. I've heard this request so many times. Well, as we're traveling together, I suppose I can give you an interview. Free of charge, of course. Where are you from? All of Galarian is my home. I am a citizen of the world. Some might say my home is Absalom, that great old patchwork city. It's there that my books and magazine articles are published, and there I am held in particularly high esteem, owing to my vast knowledge. In fact, once I was invited to the College of Mysteries itself, but I prefer to think of Absalom not as a home, but headquarters, where I go to plan my next adventure. I visited every country worth mentioning in Avestan and Garund. I've even trodden the exotic lands of Tianjia. I've seen miracles you couldn't even imagine, and in every place I've been, there was a home that would have gladly received a renowned explorer such as myself. The famous name of Jubilost Narthropple is known even in the most remote corners of the world. This guy is so full of himself, I love it. I'm actually running a Kingmaker campaign currently, so watching this game again will be great for me. That's awesome. I want to see it adapted into 4E so I can actually play it. I have a feeling this is going to be a tea-heavy night talking to this guy. All right, so still, where were you born? You know, the line between persistence and importunity is very thin, and you risk crossing that line. Jubilost sighs. Do you think I haven't mentioned my birthplace because of my forgetfulness? I was born in Taldor, if you must know. The Empire is in decline nowadays, but still cherishes the illusion of its past glory. It's a country torn by prejudice. In Taldor, my mind was trapped in a cage of restrictions, birthright, poverty, and their beggars-be-damned attitude. I left the country as soon as I understood it. So if you ever try to rekindle any patriotic feelings in me, you'll be disappointed. My first article in The Independence was about Taldor. The magazine was almost closed as a result of the scandal that followed, and it would have closed were it not for crowds of my supporters marching in protests under the windows of the publishing house, making its editors change their minds. Definitely going to be a tea-heavy day. Oh man, you've traveled so much. Well, tell me about where you've traveled. Jubilost tilts its head, peering at you. I've written a fair number of articles and essays on my journeys, and if you'll excuse me, I haven't the slightest desire to retell them all to you right now. If you wish to learn about foreign lands, pick up my issue of The Independence and read all you like. I'm sure you can find my magazines even in this hole of a place. Easy, buddy. So you write books and magazine articles? I certainly do. I'm too generous not to share my thoughts and journeys with other minds who search for knowledge. Judging from your face, you don't belong in that category. I can't be mad. Among my scientific works, I'd recommend the range of articles published in National Alchemy. If you prefer lighter reading, you might like Traveler's Essays or the scandalous The Independence. If pictures capture your attention better than words, page through the Illustrated Atlas of Avestan. And you should give your cook a volume or two of my culinary almanacs. Trust me, it might help. Jubilost throws a speculative glance at you. Some have tried to blame me for a sleazy romance novel called The Five Sins of Serenray. I have no idea who spread these crazy rumors, but if you like such frivolity, I've been informed that the novel's sequel, The Sixth Sin, was recently published. You wear glasses. Why don't you ask some cleric to heal your eyesight? Jubilost throws a cutting glance at you. I'm sure you could have figured out the answer to that question on your own, if you bothered to use a logical approach. At least I sincerely hope so. I prefer to think of you as a lazy person, not a stupid one. Jubilost tightens his lips. Well then, I suppose it's my fate to enlighten you. All right, there's no time like the present. Let's build up a logical conclusion together. So, starting with the obvious, a cleric's services cost several hundred gold coins. Spectacles cost a dozen gold coins. So maybe I just couldn't afford to pay the cleric. Incorrect conclusion. I earn enough. Besides, some clerics would surely help me free of charge because they're fans of my incomparable talent. The answer can't be the money then. So what is it? Let's explore further. Surely you've noticed that I'm a rather famous person. Just to be clear, which circles I'm famous in. My scientific articles are well known among the students and teachers of various institutions of higher education. My articles that satirize the rich and powerful are extremely popular among the minor nobility, traders, and workers. That is, among anyone who doesn't have any power for themselves. The kind of people who don't usually have enough money to afford an expensive cleric. Well, can you add it all up and find the right answer yet? Jubilost doesn't let you get a single word in edgewise. Apparently he's uninterested in your reaction, and is just enjoying listening to his own voice. Guilty. My spectacles are something that unites me with my readers. People are more open to those who share their social status. Many of my readers can't afford to heal their eyesight at the temple, so when I, too, refuse such healing, I become closer to the people. My spectacles are part of my image. Jubilost exhales at last. I believe I've managed to explain the basics of logical thinking. No need to thank me. This guy. Alright, well, thanks for telling me a little bit about yourself. Let me ask you something else. Jubilost casually waves his hand. Ask away. What are you jotting down in your notebook all the time? Notes on our adventures. Good ideas that come to mind. I don't know how it is with you, but in my case, my mind is constantly producing thoughts and ideas worthy of writing down. Some I use in my articles and books. Others I will share with the audience next time I speak at Foray Logos and Absalom. Some other thoughts should be kept out of the public view for a while. Our world isn't yet ready for certain revelations. Okay. Well, tell me something about the history of the gnome race then, I suppose. What have I come to? Jubilost Narthropple, a famous explorer, writer, and scientist, is reduced to giving simple lessons in history? Very well, ask away. What questions do you have? How did the gnomes appear on Galarian? They came here in ancient times from the First World. You do know what the First World is, right? If you don't, ask me about it some other time. I used to lecture on it at a couple of institutes. According to the understanding I've accumulated, the gnomes were an immortal race until some of our especially insightful ancestors came up with a brilliant idea. They decided it would be fun to learn how it feels to be mortal. I would like very much to meet these gnomes. I wouldn't even kick them. I'd just look in their eyes without a single word. Too bad they're all long dead by now. As everyone knows, a stupid enough idea can be extremely contagious. So the gnomes caught this infection. All of them, without a hope for cure. So they found a way to Galarian and decided to settle here. And, you'll never believe it, they got just what they wanted. They severed their link with the First World. They gained mortality, the bleaching, and a heap of local diseases that have been keeping the race on the verge of extinction ever since. Alright, I am curious about the bleaching, because I read a book on that, and I had no idea what it was talking about. Alright, the bleaching is the name given to the physical decolorization and aging of a gnome, and is caused by a lack of exposure to new and exciting experiences. This bleaching of color is accompanied by a psychological decline, first into depression and apathy, and eventually into madness and death. Gnome efforts to fend off the bleaching only serve to fuel their racial curiosity and whimsy, giving it somewhat of a manic edge. Some claim that the bleaching is a result of the gnomes leaving the First World thousands of years ago. Rare gnomes survive the bleaching, and develop an enigmatic wisdom and connection to the natural world, earning them the name Bleachlings. Okay. The book makes a lot more sense now. Bleaching is very dark, but makes gnomes super cool. It, like, forces them to be interesting. Like, to explore and to wander and to learn and to experience life. That's really neat. Like, the book that I was reading was saying that they needed to, you know, find friends and go on journeys and, like, don't let your hands be idle. And that's, I mean, it sucks that you can't just relax, but it's kind of cool. They have to be chipper or else. Yeah, it's interesting. It's very interesting. Do gnomes live long? Certainly. Long and happily ever after. Jubilost shakes his head in remorse. We'd live as long as elves were it not for the bleaching. That's the curse of our race, which only struck after the gnomes left the first world. To put it simply, gnomes must constantly have new experiences. If a gnome gets into a rut, so to speak, he bleaches. We start to lose color, literally. Our skin and hair become pale, and the worst thing is that our soul loses color too. If the process continues unchecked, the gnome dies. History recalls only a few cases where gnomes actually died of old age. Most of them perish either because of the bleaching, or in the middle of some crazy adventure they've joined, just to stave it off. Interesting. Huh. So do you travel so much as a way to fend off the bleaching? Jubilost stares at you, then nods slowly. You see, I enjoy being alive. I like to eat pancakes in the morning. I like to write articles for magazines. I like it when I leave the publishing house in Absalom and a crowd of fans immediately mobs me, so I don't intend to die at the peak of my life because of some stupid ancient curse. But don't you dare imagine that everything I do is just for fear of the bleaching. I tell people the truth about the world that surrounds them. My theoretical research aids the development of different branches of science in various institutes. Yes, sooner or later I'll bleach and die, like any other gnome. But the name of the famous Jubilost Narthropple will live throughout the ages. Let's change the subject. I'd like to learn more about the First World. I did read something on this, I think, last night. Well, you've asked the right person. I am an expert in studying the First World. Give me your questions. So what's it like? It's huge, wild, and extremely unfriendly to the unprepared traveler. Nothing remains constant there. Matter changes before your eyes. What was a mountain yesterday becomes a river today, and that river flows upwards. The trees touch the sky. The heat of the desert can melt metal, and hurricane winds can tear a person apart. But it would be wrong to think of the First World as the plane of total destruction. Creation is just as important there. The deserts spring alive into forests, and when the hurricane subsides, animals emerge from hiding. Huge, wild, as untamed as the world itself. The First World epitomizes life in its original chaotic meaning. There's a theory that gods used the First World as a training ground, to practice their ability to create matter. Then they abandoned the First World to its own fate, and wandered off to create Galarian. Some say that the inhabitants of the First World still hold a grudge against the gods for this. Hey, Audio, thank you so much, my friend, for the resub. 3 months in. I appreciate you, buddy. How you doing today? Hope you're doing well. And everyone should go check out Audio. Give him a follow. How can a person get there? Mainly through magic portals created by skilled magicians, but the price of such a portal is usually in excess of several thousand gold coins. There is another way, of course. There are documented cases where spontaneous portals to the First World have opened in remote places on Galarian, whereas mages say the boundaries between the two worlds has grown thin. But spontaneous portals are rather dangerous. You never know what's lurking on the other side. Only desperate adventurers and madmen use them. And of course, romantic suicidal idiots who think all good common sense is too boring. Are there any sentient beings in the First World? Of course, the Fae, and all their relatives, and all their relatives' relatives, and then some more Fae besides. Sometimes one meets leprechauns or satyrs there, which are actually another type of Fae, just called by another name, and all of them are immortal, by the way, at least within their own homeworld. The souls of the creatures of the First World have no connection with the realm of mortals. When a creature of the First World dies, its soul just materializes in another body, similar to its old one. It's not a pleasant experience, and the resurrected creature loses almost all of the powers and abilities developed over its life, but keeps all its memories and personality. It's still much better than a mortal death, I would say. Sometimes the process doesn't even take long. A killer might meet his victim again the following week. That's wild. Naturally, this immortality has influenced the way the First World inhabitants think. For instance, Fae enjoy mischief and tricks that can easily end in someone's death. The Fae think it's just funny, and anyone from another world who falls victim to such tricks doesn't end up having much to say at all. Once the gnomes were immortal relatives of the Fae. Jubilost sighs. You seem to know a lot about the First World. You ever been? Jubilost wrinkles his lips. I haven't the opportunity yet, unfortunately. My studies of the First World are limited to the confused statements of witnesses or scribbles in their diaries. And also, I've studied the remains of some unfortunates who periodically fall out of spontaneous portals. I keep to the hope that sooner or later I'll manage to visit that wonderful place. And certainly the notes I'd write in the place would be far more extensive and informative than all the ramblings on the subject I've had to wade through. Naturally, the main concern of my expedition would be safety of its leader, namely me. It would be extremely foolish to get that far and see that much, only to lose the chance to tell anyone about it. Does anyone rule the First World? It's commonly assumed that the eldest rule it. They are overseers, but more just a glorified version of Fey Lords. Power attracts pompous blockheads in every world. Just gonna stare at him. Jubilost gives you a critical stare. It's fortunate, then, that this problem doesn't trouble your lands at all. But let's get back to the First World. The eldest possess the powers to keep matter in the First World in a more or less constant state. That's why the Fae treat them as demigods, and offer them prayers, just as we offer prayers to Desna, Erastil, or even Lamashtu. No beings rule the chaotic and changeable plane, known as the First World, the home of the Fae, but its most powerful residents are the mighty beings known as the Eldest, sometimes known as the Fae Lords or the Shapers. They each pursue their own mysterious goals and have little interest in the doings of lesser creatures. Alright, I'd like to talk about something else. Jubilost casually waves his hand. So tell me, why have you studied the First World so thoroughly? Jubilost looks at you for several moments, his eyes narrow. I told you already, I like to be alive. I assure you, other gnomes share the same attitude. Between the bleaching, disease, and old age, we have a lot to yearn for. But the ancient gnomes, for some reason, decided that mortality, the bleaching, and all the diseases of Galarian are preferable to the immortality of the First World. I can't do anything to change that, but I can do something with my own life. I want to find a way back to the First World for all the gnomes of Galarian. Unfortunately, to do this, I can't just gather up all the gnomes and send them marching through the nearest portal. We're too attached to Galarian now. We've lost our connection with the chaos of the First World. We've become too mortal, if you see what I mean. When a gnome dies in the First World, he dies forever, like any visitor. But there must be something that can be done to solve this problem, and I intend to find out what it is. Jubilost Narthropple, the hero who returned the gnome's home. It has a nice ring to it, wouldn't you say? Well, thanks for the conversation. Come back when you run out of clever ideas again. I do. I very much enjoy him. He's a funny guy. I think that if anyone could achieve what he's trying to achieve, it would be him. But he has a very tall order, that's for sure. All right, I think it was this guy. Do I even have enough for it? Ah, here it is. I like barely have enough. I feel like it's worth it. I'm gonna be quite broke for a long time, but that's fine. Oh, nope, didn't want to do that. Hi, Studio. Studio, we're fighting. I just want to make that very clear right now, because the ending of your game is so freaking depressing. Why? Why'd you pull a Homeward Bound? That was not okay. I was not expecting it. It was rough. I had a very, very rough day, Studio. Yeah, Marcy. For anyone that doesn't know, you should go check out this game by RTFX Studio, the game itself is awesome. It's like this 8-bit style short adventure, takes an hour, maybe 2 to beat, because the maze took me like an hour to figure out. But it's like, it's a really clever story, really cool artwork, very fun time. You won't regret it. Go check it out. Very sad though, fair warning. It was awesome. I really enjoyed it. What am I trying to do right now? I just got so ADHD distracted. Here we go. Do I have a time limit on these? That's what I needed to look at. No. Oh, gotta go to the tavern too to get that and figure that out. But I feel like that was too high of a level for me right now. I still don't even know how to get to Sorrowflow. Gotta build his workshop, which I'll do after I get my stuff. This has plenty of time. Okay, so let's hit the tavern next, and then I'll continue exploring, because I only have 7 days before my next thing. How do I get to my tavern? Where's my tavern? There you are. I think it's this lady. No, that's the bar owner. Could have been her, I guess. I don't know. As soon as the peasant woman sees you, she falls to her knees, trying to kiss your hand. Oh, your grace, our deliverer. You saved him. You rescued my little one. What would we ever do without you? Every day until the day I die, I shall pray to all the gods for your health. +3 loyalty. That was pretty sweet. All right, did this. Still want to go check this out. I got, what, 7 days? What day is it? It is the 23rd. Gotta go to the Hodag lair and the Swamp Witch's hut. That was the target. So let's try to do these two next. Yeah, that sounds like a good plan. How am I already getting a new... I don't even see anything in here. Myvon will dispatch troops to watch the trade routes that connect it with your capital. Ooh, I should do that as soon as I possibly can. Could a mother have cursed her own child even unwittingly? Oh, new curse. A lot of curses that I need to do as well. But I need to start with the Bald Hill one, I think. There we go. Where was I headed? This way. I have to check up on him too, so we'll do that on the way back, probably. Although Keston did say time is of the essence. But, like, I was a dick to that troll, so he can wait a little while. Alright, first things first, we are going to rest.
Amiri, you're sad. Has something happened?
The thing is, nothing happened. I didn't even fight anyone for so long. Boring.
I love that Amiri's biggest problem is not fighting people. An old abandoned village on the southeast bank of the Tuskwater is the domain of a mysterious crone known to travelers as the Old Beldam. Most of the locals believe the old woman to be a witch. Her dilapidated hut squats in the middle of the fetid marsh that has claimed the ruins of the old settlement. We're gonna save. Oh, this is a big area. Seems to be a big area. Very dark, too. I can't see anything. Got some wolves. Lots of wolves. Alright. Decent scrolls. You come to meet your death. Oh, okay. Something just damaged. Huh. Okay. That actually makes sense if he's picking up something called... Was it razor leaf or mud leaf? Alright, mud leaf doesn't make a lot of sense. As you approach the grove, you hear two voices in soft conversation. First is a velvet baritone, begging on the brink of tears. Please, Teresia, my love, don't send me away. I'd rather die than... I want you to live, a girl's voice says sharply. Falcos, you are my knight in shining armor. I love you like I've never loved anyone before. But if you stay, you'll... The girl's voice falters, and she collapses into sobs. Wait, there's someone here. Show yourself. Approaching, you notice a fae couple, a satyr and a dryad, who watch you with an anxious look. Holy kittens, look, it's fae, real fae. Hello there. Lindsay waves her hand to the couple. Who are you? My name is Teresia. I've lived here since my tree awoke from the earth and first sought the sun. And this is Falcos from far away. We are together, the satyr nods, and we'll stay together till death takes us. The dryad narrows her eyes at Falcos and folds her arms. Can't you do the without the death part? I managed so far, he grins widely. What were you arguing about? These lands could be beautiful again, but not as long as this monster exists. Falco's hand curls into a fist. We cannot leave. We must fight. My sweetheart, my love, Teresia's voice trembles on the verge of tears. You've tried already, and barely survived. Please, I'll endure. I'll go to sleep again. If you were to die, it will hurt me far more than if I let you go, knowing you're far away but alive and well. Look at me, Teresia. I'll never leave you, never. I beg you, don't send me away. Being without you, it'll kill me as surely as the scythe tree itself. The scythe tree? That sounds horrible. No thank you. The scythe tree won't leave us be. Simply being brave is not enough to defeat it, Falcos. Sooner or later, it will kill you. The dryad turns to you, hopeful. I beg you, put an end to this creature. End our suffering, and its suffering as well. We'll find a way to reward you. What the hell is the scythe tree? Well, it's... Teresia curls her fingers, imitating claws, and pretends to snatch up something with them. Falcos jumps in. First, it's just a tree. Fire is not its friend, and you'd best use a weapon suited to chop through its bark, not impale it. Right, and also, its branches are very long. Be careful, it can reach you from afar. I always struggle with this, between like wanting to do the right thing and getting good, like, goodies. This is always my biggest struggle in these types of games. What are you offering? It's not much, but Teresia gets a small chest from under the tree roots. Yeah, I don't want this thing on my land, so I'll kill it. No reward needed. The Dryad smiles. There are not enough words in the world to express how grateful we are. You'll find it south of here, in a large glade. Good luck. We'll wait for you here. By the way, what happened to the village? The Dryad gives a heavy sigh and closes her eyes, as if remembering. It was a beautiful place, a human village on the edge of the real Fae kingdom. They lived in peace alongside the Fae for generations, united by friendship, sometimes even by love. The Dryad looks away. That is, until our queen, Calotropsia, lost her heart to the headman's daughter. Such a beautiful couple. But it all happened at their wedding day. Both humans and Fae had gathered to celebrate the union. No one knows what happened next, but in the midst of the festivities, Calotropsia suddenly transformed. She changed into a monster. The Dryad's voice drops, and she glances around, as if afraid another might hear. She became the Scythe Tree. She killed her bride, her love, then destroyed the village. Humans fled, or were killed. Same with Fae. Our kingdom fell in a heartbeat. I couldn't leave my tree, so I slept for many years, until I awoke to the sound of pipes, playing such beautiful music. She smiles at Falcos. So a girl from the village married a Dryad? Teresia smiles. Your world and the world of the Fae are great and wide, yet rarely do they touch. It is unfortunate, for when they do, great joy is possible, not simply between two souls, but more so when a third arises from their love, a child either born or found. Here, for instance, when my tree and I were far younger than we are now, a girl lived here, Elga Verniex. She was the daughter of the woman from the village. Her father, a satyr. We loved her so much, watching her grow, laugh, learn. The Dryad shakes her head sadly. But her mother took her and left. If she still lives, she's certainly forgotten all about us. Her poor father missed her so much, the grief never left him. It was in his eyes when he passed. The Dryad is silent for a moment, averting her eyes, then turns to face you again. Humans and Fae both love, and love strongly, and we feel the same pain when we are cut off from the ones we hold in our hearts. Well, I must take my leave, figure out how to kill a tree. Time to go lumbering. But for 7. That's... Jeez. Alright. Yes. I will say they do a very good job of, like, throwing curveballs at you. Oh, there's werewolves now. Fun. I think everything is uninjured. Yeah, so you can go ahead and heal it. God damn, Ikun. So, is he your favorite because he's badass, or does he have a really good story? Or both? Oh, 0 damage? That's not cool. I don't know if I have a silvered weapon. Do I need one? No, it's just 10 DR unless it has... Okay, so I should be able to pull this off. Wasn't all that bad. Minus Davos dying. More dog tags. 1,000 gold? Holy crap. That was a good find. Oh, Dark, are you still hanging around? I guess so. I haven't been in a Neela stream in too long. I can officially say that the final clue has been released. I felt like I should tell someone that. I'm assuming these things have that ability to, like, keep going for an extra turn. I am so confused. Alright. They're just boars like that? Seriously. What the heck? I'm gonna start being Valerie too, flanked by the cats. I love that. No, but they do have a special power to do that. Yeah, I figured it was something like that. A lot of the, I don't know if they're fighters or brutes, have like a second wind type of ability, which is fine. But it's still, every time, it surprises me, like, without fail. You'd think I'd learn my lesson by now. It says dead, why no dead? Lots of wolves. Alright, Davos, you stay back. Just keep backing up, and I'm gonna need to rest soon.
Go on.
God, I love McDonald's. Double kill. So I hope.
Go on. Go on.
Ooh. Can't believe that survived. There we go. I like don't want to move too quickly here and run into this tree by mistake. I want to probably rest before I fight. Oh no. God, I hate will-o-wisps. Oh, and there's 2 of them. Awesome. Alright, at least these ones are low level.
Magritium Turios.
That'll help. Which is... Alright, that wasn't so bad. Didn't mean to have you rage, but I'll probably be resting soon anyways, so that's fine. Hell yeah. They weren't so bad. Just boars? Just boars. I can deal with boars. Looks like 4. You know what? Let's save your spells. There's another fight, I think, coming up on the top there. Alright, that one's dead. God, I love attacks of opportunity. of them. All of them are dead. What were you trying to respec on your main, if anything? So I started with a... I don't even think it was my main. I think when I got the companions, I respec'd them to min-max them a little bit better. Because like their stat distribution wasn't, you know, quite perfect. And that completely bugged out the game. It became unplayable. It was wild. So I do have to just keep fighting them. That's fine. Ooh, he does redirect as well. Nice. No wonder he's so good. Damn. Ah. Ooh. Interesting. This house differs from the others. It's the only one that looks habitable. A low, almost defeated fence rings it. Smoke rises from the chimney, and you can smell what could be a stew. Heavily spiced. Even glass windows adorned with drapes are intact. A small dented brass bell hangs near the front gate, and a well-swept path leads from the gate to the door of the house. Along the side of the house lies a garden. Vegetables, it seems, and in the middle of the garden you see a scarecrow with black stones for eyes, and a wicked grin stitched on its burlap face. Let's see if there's any enchantments on this gate. The gate and the bell bear a simple enchantment that alerts the caster, presumably the owner of the house, about uninvited guests. How about the scarecrow? Looks like it might be trouble. The scarecrow's aura is strong, almost like a lightning flash to your senses. It is not a bundle of sticks and rags. It's a dangerous ward to protect the home from trespassers. Let's call out. Anyone here? No matter how loud you shout, no one answers. I'm going to gently throw a pebble. Oops. Oh, that's right. The whole reason that I'm here is to talk to this lady. Ah. The pebble hits the window with a clack. After several moments, the door creaks open, and an old woman with a tangle of gray hair and greenish skin steps out. Her eyebrows and ears taper to sharp points. Who's causing all this mischief? The woman scans the porch with a baleful eye, and her gaze locks on the pebble. Throwing rocks now. What, you think that bell hanging there is just for show? That's right. I could have just rang the bell. Oh gosh, the old beldam. So, what in damnation are you doing here? The old woman squints at you with disapproval. Her hair is a tangle of gray, and her wrinkled skin is an unusual shade of green. Both her eyebrows and ears taper to points. My hair is just, don't even question it at this point. I have got a question for you. Just look at him, he's got a question. Her lip curls in a sneer. What makes you think I've any answers for one such as you scrabbling at my door like a beggar? Have you done anything good for me recently? You've nothing for me, and you're nothing to me. How can I help you, good woman? Well, now we're talking. Much better than poking around where you don't belong, nattering on like a fool. Here, look. She pulls a black, oddly wrinkled mushroom from a bag on her belt. It has an odd smell about it that makes your eyes tear up. This is a black rattlecap. The spore pods inside, the best thing for the lungs, and the skin. Me, I use them for tea. They're rare, though, but they grow thickest at the mud bowl east of here. Get me at least 10. Yes, 10. Then we'll talk. Who are you? Me? I'm just a harmless old woman hoping for some peace and quiet. The old beldam, they call me, and that's fine. Been called worse in my life. Why are you asking? What fool's errand brings you all the way out here? This seems to be an unusual herb. I was hoping you could tell me what it is. She takes the herb between her bony fingers, sniffs it, and gives you an approving nod. You've got a good eye. This herb is useful, but not by itself. Look here. She shows you 3 different herbs. This one's mudleaf. That there is gloomberry. And that's the dizzy head. One guess what it does. If you can find 3 bundles of each, bring them to me. Alright. She hasn't done anything wrong to me yet. A tiny but well-kept. Oh gosh. What the hell was that noise? Ooh, another recipe. Fish on a stick. Love it. I do love me some fish sticks. You know, I haven't had fish sticks in forever. I don't know if I've ever made fish sticks for Chloe. I should do that.
Go on.
Alright. Just some more tassel worms, not a big deal. As long as I can keep my buddies alive. Ooh, it poisoned me. That's not cool. Ooh. That girl. Nice. Why are these things carrying gold and moonstones? Let's see what's hiding over on this area. Hopefully not more owlbears. Probably something worse. I can do this. Dang.
Yes.
Oh no, McPounce. McPounce is fine. The corpse of a beautiful girl lays in the middle of the glade. You can see the black stain of caked blood on her flowing dress. Despite the years that have passed since the girl's death, the body bears no signs of decay. Her pale hands, clutching a white lily, are folded on her chest peacefully, and a wreath of fresh flowers crowns her head. There is the glint of fine jewelry on her body, a necklace, earrings, and a ring on her finger. As you study the jewelry, you hear hissing voices from every direction. Fae. But despite the number of voices, you cannot see a single one. Get hence! Get hence! Let our night sleep, or you will regret it. So sad and romantic. Whoever she was, someone really loved her. I really wonder what enchantments were cast on her. This body bears a strong preservation enchantment that keeps decay at bay. I'll be nice. You collect fresh flowers and lay them over the girl's remains. The jeers and threats of the Fae become murmurs, then dissolve into silence. Nope. Oh gosh. Alright. Oh gosh, a lot of them. Oh dear God. That thing did so much damage. Oh, there's more. Fun. Jeez. They missed a lot, but when they hit, man, whew. Keep poisoning me too. That's rough. Dear God, Erastil. I love that. Thank you so much.
Pretty.
goes 2 more of my characters. Oh gosh. One down.
Gum.
I don't know if that'll work the way that I want it to. Did. Ah, yes. Okay. Is that one down still? Looks like it is.
Gum. Yes.
Yeah. Gotta love opportunity attacks. So good. Another one of those. Okay, jeez. Hey, you can stand up now. Boom. I can't believe I survived that. That was luck. Ooh, fancy leather armor. Now we're gonna rest.
Guy Chazer de Lambert was a woodsman not unlike you. However, he favored dual elven curved blades instead of the bow. Belloc Nor was his fellow arch-knight, and he was an expert marksman. It is said that he could shoot the wings off a sturge at 100 meters.
Minotaur shit. Even if he was that good with a bow, why not just kill this sturge?
I don't like that the chance of ambush was increased. Perfect. That sucks. I think that means I have to rest again because all my powers were not recharged.
I'm sorry that I cannot relieve your pain, Ekun.
Don't blame yourself. It is my burden.
My bad. I'll have to do. Ooh, what the fuck is this? Yo. Can we just talk about this for a minute? Oh, there's more. I should have saved. This was stupid. Seriously, we have to talk about this. Just giant ass slugs. Fuck yeah. Oh, they do some damage too. Okay, yeah, I gotta. Even when I give them belly rubs throughout the day, I like just never thought of recording it. Giant slugs. This is a tough area. I'm definitely underleveled for it. The swamp reeks of algae and stale water. Cute. Why is this ghoul not attacking me? A dead man staggers towards you. There's a gaping hole in the middle of his chest, and you can see the white of bone through the tears in his decayed flesh. He speaks with a halting, gurgling wheeze. Living one, I do not want to harm you. Help me. Who are you? I had a name. Dorsey. Had a bride. Now I'm no one. Alone. Less than no one. What happened here? The man... You see his hands twitch and curl into fists. Fae. Damned Fae. Killed everyone. Every single one. Hate. Hate them all. Hate the Fae. Hate the headman. Why do you hate Fae so much? The dead man's decayed hands sink into the edges of the huge hole in his chest. The Fae stole my bride. Killed her. Killed me. The whole village. And the headman, the bastard, helped them. Sold his own daughter to the Fae. Nida, my love. Evil. All of them. How I hate them. So how can I help? The Fae said, I'll reach my final rest when 2 coins serve as my eyelids. Give me just 2 coins. Yeah, shouldn't be too hard. You put 2 coins over the dead man's eyes, but they fall from his sockets to the ground. All lies, damned Fae. The dead man utters a helpless groan, stretching out his arms towards you. Poor guy. I'll find your coins. You suppress a shiver as you approach the well. The air around it is thick with the smell of decay. As you try to identify the source, you suddenly catch whispers and ragged scratching noises emanating beneath the lid of the well. The rotting wooden cover has been crudely hammered shut with heavy iron nails. I feel anguish and crushing despair. Whatever destroyed this village is somehow connected to this well. Let's see if it bears any enchantments. An aura of death magic hangs about the well. The aura runs strong and deep, emanating from the bottom of the well itself. I'm gonna leave just for a little bit. I mean, I don't read many books either, but there's a couple staples that I've made the time for. And I think Harry Potter should be one that people should give it a chance. It's an awesome book. Series.
Go on.
Oh, rude. Super rude. Thank you. One of them down. Jeez. God, I hope they fix it.
Go on.
That's better. There we go. I'm afraid to go this way. This is a really tough area. And that scythe tree scares the shit out of me, with 2 of my characters being already pretty much dead. So I think I'm going to back off, go back to the kingdom and rest. A problem demands your personal attention, Your Grace. Your acquaintance, Oleg, has been refusing to pay his taxes for months now, even though his trading post is located in your lands. The fool didn't realize he should have come to you immediately. But even so, please, lend him your ear. What's the matter, Oleg? Oleg grimaces, making a clear effort not to spit on the floor. Since the moment you founded this barony, Your Grace, I became your subject. He grits his teeth. But I'm still also a subject of the Aldari in Restov. When you brought down the Stag Lord, I thought my troubles were over, but no. Oleg shakes his head. My whole life, I've paid taxes to Restov. Now on top of that, your tax collectors darken my doorstep. No. Oleg's a good guy, but I do need taxes. Oleg, which would you rather swear allegiance to, Restov or myself? Oleg looks like he's surprised to be asked. He thinks for a moment, and you realize he's making an extraordinary effort to be polite. Forgive me, Your Grace, but regardless of what banner they fly, all tax collectors are little more than bandits to me. I mean, I guess that's fair. Take your taxes down a notch, guy. You're gonna have people throwing tea in the water if you're not careful. I don't know. Advisors, what are your thoughts on the situation? Your Grace, the Aldori Sword Lords are true allies and the backbone of the barony. I would hope you still value Lady Jamandi's support and won't let such short-term interests undermine our alliance. Showing your colors there, Casil. Oleg is more important than a few months' worth of taxes. Collecting now would ruin a kind and honest, if somewhat clueless man. Please keep this in mind, Your Grace. I think it's fair to say we're not going to collect any taxes this month. Just let him go, and I'll discuss the matter with Oleg's fealty with the Sword Lords in Rostov, and then we'll determine who he should pay taxes to. I don't have a problem giving them their taxes, but I at least need to state my case for it. Oleg smiles faintly. Well, thank you, Your Grace. He bows awkwardly, then rises embarrassed. That's most just of you. Casil bows his head. A wise decision. Should you wish, I will write Lady Jamandi myself and explain the matter to her. Perhaps she'll agree to a sensible sharing of taxes between the barony and Rostov. See, now you're thinking, Casil. I'm certain we can reach an agreement with Jamandi and acquire the trading post in short order without any direct conflict with the Sword Lords. Yeah, I definitely don't want conflict with them. Because you handled that diplomatic moment well, the tea will not be entering our waters. Oh my god. That's good. Oh, that was very good. Well done. I'm gonna drink some tea about it. Talk to that guy. Some angry cats. 10 shards. These shards, they were once part of the Forest Knight's bracers. I would be honored to restore this artifact for you. The bracers would serve you well for a long time, and we could uncover their story if you managed to collect all 10 shards and bring them to me. Check out what's going on with this guy. Oh, more trolls. Near death already? What? How? Weird that he died so quickly. That was odd. I don't need that on. Holy shit. Oh god. Okay. This ain't gonna go very well. It's a terrible idea. There's a lot of trolls here. But I think I'll be alright. We'll find out. They're not branded, so I feel like I could probably get away with using fire, but that one's branded. Alright. A couple of them are. That one just died, like without any fire or anything. That's wild. Valerie. Lindsay, can you just get further away? Oh, what a jerk. Alright. Anything can die if you hit it enough times. Very true. Even these freaking trolls. She got hit hard by that. That's fine though. Attaboy. Alright. Excuse me, sir. You're supposed to drop dead. There we go. Perfect, thank you. Looks like these bandits died after triggering a trap. Oh, that's... yeah, I've dealt with those guys already. Christine, can you take a minute and heal everyone, please? Do that twice. Then easy can just drink a potion because I have 80,000 of them. It'll be fine. Let's level up Ekundayo. Give me a minute to pull up my guide so I'm not here all night. Alright, so he is now level 6. He's going to get another level in Ranger. His focus on skills. I don't actually care about him having trickery because I'm going to keep Lindsay in my parties. He needs perception for sure. I'll keep his athletics up. Oh, he gets 5 points every level? Dang. Yeah, might as well since he has it. And mobility. All right, cool. I'm okay with this. All right, he also gets many shot, which is your first attack fires 2 arrows. If the attack hits, both arrows hit. Apply precision-based damage, sneak attack, and critical damage only once. Damage bonuses from using a composite bow with a high strength bonus apply to each arrow, as do other damage bonuses such as the ranger's favored enemy bonus. Damage reduction and resistances apply separately to each arrow. That's incredible. Wow. Does that just apply automatically? Is that like every attack that he does? Yeah, I think it just does to every single time he does that, which is frequently. So that's excellent. I really like that. Heck yeah. Okay, lots of things going on here. They're fighting each other, aren't they? Okay. Yeah! Love to see it. Let's get you. As long as it hits both trolls. I don't care who else it is. That's not going to be a full attack. That? Times 3. God, I love that. That's ridiculous. Don't forget. Yeah. I love attacks of opportunity. Not when they're against me, though. I want this troll shut up. It's very fair. Oh my god. That's just wild how many attacks he does now. That is silly. Who's still alive? Ah. Not too shabby. If only we could understand him and all his eloquence. With as much talking as he does, he's probably a great poet to his people. Alrighty. That's just ridiculous. They're both branded. Oh, 3 of them are branded, okay. Yes. So I appreciate you letting me know. That's wild. God, it's just silly. Yeah, could have done that better. All right, now this guy. Hit someone. That doesn't happen very often. God, he is ridiculously powerful. Oh my god. Who's your favorite character now? Try to get him to back up. Oh, McPounce. What are you doing to me? What time is it? 12:55? Alright. We got time for one more fight. Ooh, spiders. Helpful spiders. Interesting. Lots of spiders. Oh, that's right. I forgot Amiri has the acid axe now, too. That's going to be super helpful. Good shot, Lindsay. Hey, you leave McPounce alone. He's a graceful, majestic beast. He's something, all right? It's just silly. Oh, man. Alright, this could be a whole thing up here. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. We're going to go ahead and save because it is almost 1 a.m. and I think it is time to call it an evening. Hey everyone. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight and being just wonderful people. Mild Kabuki, thank you so much for joining. Welcome to the craziness that is this channel. We're going to get some double doggo badness going on right here with some extra Treatos. Thank you, Tuck and Roll. Boy. Come. Come on up. You see him? There. Good boys.
I couldn't stop thinking about coffee. I need a nap. Coffee time!
51K. Nice. Yeah, that was a lot of Treatos for one night. These boys are gonna get chubby. Yeah, but yeah, thank you so much for hanging out, everyone. Don't forget to check this out on YouTube and join the Discord and be awesome with us. You both are at 51. That's hilarious. I am going to choose, unless someone has a guide the raid, to raid Father Fog tonight. I mentioned at the start of the stream that I really wanted to watch him play Dead by Daylight because he is just incredible at this freaking game. And the more that we actually go in and watch him play, the more fascinated that I am. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go say hi to Father Fog. And it's going to be a good time. As always, have a fantastic evening. I'll talk to you all very soon. And don't forget to copy that raid message. Fog the trolls. I like that. Have a great night, guys.